What is up, guys? Welcome to another video, and today we have a slightly different video. It's going to be a long one. Today is going to be everything you need to know about Need for Speed Payback. So obviously this is all the information we have so far. I'm recording this on September the 9th, so more information may have been released from today, but this is kind of everything you need to know, really. Even if any more information does come out, this is kind of the core information which is going to kind of like tide you over. This is the stuff which you actually do need to know for when the game comes out and when the game launches. Even if you're watching this after launch, obviously the release date isn't going to be of any use, but some of the other information which is in the game may be of some use, like the customization and the car list, etc. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into today's video. Right, so firstly, let's go ahead and talk about early access and the release date. So this is pretty simple. I'm going to go ahead and quickly read off the little list I made about how that's going to work. So on November the 2nd, if you have EA access or Origin access, you'll be able to play it exclusively on the Play First trial. This allows you to play 10 hours of the game from November 2nd. Now keep in mind, the game doesn't actually launch till November 7th if you have the Deluxe Edition, and November 10th if you have the normal edition. So this is pretty much a week before. You get 10 hours of playtime in Need for Speed Payback, and that's basically how it's going to work. Once you've played those 10 hours, that's all you'll be able to play, and then you'll actually have to wait for the official release dates, being November 7th for the Deluxe Edition and November 10th for the actual edition. So basically you get a 10-hour trial 5 days beforehand. Personally, for me, it's worth it because it's only like £2 or £3. So for £2 or £3, you get to play the game on November the 2nd, which is literally a week before. So for someone like me who does YouTube and I actually generally do have an interest in this game and I want to play this game, for me, like £2 or £3 isn't too bad. That moves us swiftly on to the editions of the game. So there will be a standard edition, which will be £59.99, and there'll also be a deluxe edition, which will be £79.99. Now obviously this is going to change from country to country, so I do advise you going to go ahead and just check your Amazon, your local Amazon listing, and see what that is. But in the UK, if you live in the UK, it's £59.99, pretty much just your normal AAA game price. If you pre-order the standard version now, you're going to go ahead and get the Platinum Car Pack. Essentially all this means is that you're going to get cars early. All the cars mentioned are still going to be in the game, you just get them earlier in the game. This will help you essentially just play through the game a bit easier. It's kind of, think of it as Forza Rewards, the Forza Rewards program. It's pretty much that. No cars are locked off behind a paywall. Every single car you see in all of these car packs, which I don't really like to call them car packs, I think they're more of time saver packs. They're available in the game at launch regardless if you don't pre-order, so just keep that in mind. The cars that are in the Platinum Car Pack include the 67 Camaro, the 69 Dodge Charger, an F-150 Raptor, 350Z, and a GTI Club Sport, as well as exclusive Platinum Blue Tyre Smoke. Because yes, Tyre Smoke is a customization option in the game, but we'll talk about all the customization options in a minute. If you then upgrade to the Deluxe Edition for an extra £20, you'll go ahead and get the High Roller Pack as well as 3 days early access. Now the High Roller Pack actually has quite a lot in this little pack. So we have 3 days early access, which I mentioned previously. You also have a Story Pack mission, which is going to be coming out post-launch, exclusive Deluxe Edition NOS color, which can be applied to 5 cars, Deluxe Edition license plate, a Deluxe Edition leaderboard icon, 5 shipments, 5% rep bonus, and a 10% discount in-game. Now we don't know what the Story Mission Pack is going to include, nor do we really know what shipments are. No official word has been given on it, but it does sound like a relatively good deal for £20 extra. You get to play the game early as well as you get all these free goodies, so yeah, it does sound like pretty good. For me, I'm probably going to go ahead and get the game when it's on preload on PC for the Deluxe Edition. I know I've already got it on Xbox One through game sharing and stuff, but I'm probably going to end up pre-ordering it a few days when it's available for preload. So if you are one of those people that doesn't like to pre-order games and stuff, I'd honestly just follow what I'm doing. I'm just going to go ahead and preload the game when possible because it just makes a lot more sense. So now it's time for my take on what version you should buy, and it really depends on the type of player you are. If you're really excited for Need for Speed Payback, you want to get your hands on it as soon as possible, I definitely recommend getting EA access. Even if you can't afford to get the Deluxe Edition, getting EA access will tide you over till official launch. And then obviously it becomes a case of, do you want to get the Deluxe Edition or the Standard Edition? And I think that just comes down to how much you value it to. Personally, for me, I'm going to get the Deluxe Edition, but if you can make EA access, you know, last a bit longer longer, then you may make sense to get the normal edition. It really depends down to you. But for me, in the situation I'm in, I'm going to be getting EA Access and the Deluxe Edition. So with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the customization. And this one is going to be a long one. So I'm going to bring some scrolling text up now of all the customization options in Need for Speed Payback. And I'm going to quickly go ahead and explain every single option on this list. So in this game, we have classes. We have race, off-road, drag, drift, and runner. The race class is pretty self-explanatory. It's the race class. We have the off-road class, which is made for off-roading. The drag class, which is made for straight line drag races. The drift class, which is made for those more kind of winding drift tracks, which we're going to be racing in this game. Runner, which is kind of the outlaw class in this game. It's one of those classes which is going to, you know, enable you to get more damage on the cops when you're ramming them. It's kind of a jack of all trades, master of none sort of thing. We then have front bumpers, side skirts, rear bumpers, front fenders, trunk customization, hood customization, roof customization, spoiler customization, roof lights, which was only seen on the VW Beetle in the E3 gameplay, front canines, rear canines, splitters, diffusers, tire smoke, NOS color, side mirrors, grills, headlights, window tint, neon, exhaust options, air suspension, which has been also announced previously, license plates, tires, and rims. So that was a handful. You don't realize how much customization this game has until you look at it on a list like that. That is huge. There's so many options just within those, and in this game you can actually mix and match. So in 2015 there was actually locks on certain parts. You know, you couldn't change the front bumper if you had a rocket bunny kit on. That kind of option's been completely taken away. So if you have a rocket bunny front end, essentially you can put a Liberty Walk back end if you so please, as long as the options fit. Obviously some Bose Zoku exhausts aren't going to fit with certain bumpers, but as long as it fits you can use it. And with the amount of customization which has been shown in the game so far, it shows that a lot of the cars are going to have customization in this game, which again is really exciting. So if you do want to go ahead and look at that full list again, I recommend you go ahead and rewind the video back and look again through that full list. But there's a lot of customization options in this game. I think air suspension is one of the coolest, and I can't wait to see how that works. Next, we're going to go ahead and move on to cops, because cops have been completely rehauled for Need for Speed Payback. So cops are triggered through bait crates. If you don't know what a bait crate is, essentially it's one of these little crates that you'll go ahead and drive up to. You'll press RB to it, and then the cops will start pursuing you. If you lose them in the designated time, you will go ahead and get a reward for it. The reward will depend on how aggressive the police are, and that is completely random. So when you do press the bait crate, it will be a completely random process. It's kind of like a risk versus reward. You don't know whether you're going to get rhinos and Corvette police cars, or whether you're just going to get Crown Vics. And having personally played the game at Gamescom, I can tell you that the police are going to be very dangerous in numbers, because just with a group of 1 or 2 of them, they are very dangerous in themselves. So when there's a big group of them, there's a group of like 4 or 5 of them, they will try box you in. They're going to try get you off track, and it's going to be really challenging. Like I said, having played them at Gamescom, it was just a mad experience. They're so much more improved than 2015, and I think there's going to be a lot of replayability in the cops mode. As well as that, the cops also have the return of weapons. No, it's not going to be like Rivals weapons where you lock on with EMPs and, you know, shockwaves and stuff. It's kind of similar to old games like Most Wanted. So in Need for Speed Payback, the cops will use spike strips and kill switches to try take you down, as well as roadblocks. Rhinos are also making a return from older games, which is pretty cool. You can see it's kind of got a SWAT van look here, which again is something which has been asked for from fans for a very long time. I'm very interested to see how the kill switches are going to work. We haven't been seeing gameplay of this, but I assume that's going to be really interesting. Essentially, it's kind of, think of it as like an EMP gun from Too Fast, Too Furious. You go past the cop, he hits you with the kill switch, your car temporarily turns off, and then it will turn back on after a few seconds. So very similar from that kind of Too Fast, Too Furious scene with Brian's Evo when he gets clocked with the EMP gun and he has to take out the thing. It's kind of similar, except it will run off after a few seconds. And as mentioned before, the runner class is made specifically for cop events. So, you know, if you want to do well in cop events, you've got to use the runner class, and the runner class will allow you to, you know, get more damage on cop cars when ramming them, unlike, say, the race class. You're not going to get as much damage if you keep ramming them in a race class car. Next, we're going to go ahead and talk about the map. So on Reddit, a Reddit user actually did kind of make a kind of template of what the map looks like from gameplay we've seen so far. Now I'm going to link it down in the description, so all sources and credit goes down to the description. I did not make this, but it's really cool. So as you can see, this is Fortune Valley as of September 9th. This is what we know until they actually release the map. When they actually release the map, you'll hear about it on the channel here, so make sure to go ahead and subscribe. But again, really cool. Looks really big. It looks a lot bigger than Need for Speed 2015's map, and I can say, you know, just looking at the variety, it's pretty goddamn insane. And the variety doesn't only just go go into the map, but it also goes into the car list. The car list looks absolutely insane from what we've seen so far. We've seen Vulcans, we've seen G-Wagons, we've seen Chargers, we've seen 350Zs. Every end of the kind of automotive spectrum is covered in this game, minus Toyota. Toyotas have been confirmed not to be in this game because of some licensing issues, I assume. Need for Speed have said that they do want Toyota back, so if, you know, Toyota do decide to change their mind about being in Need for Speed, we may see them in the future, but on launch, there is going to be no Toyotas. But this isn't really a problem for me because the car list we've seen so far has been absolutely stacked. I'm going to be making more videos about the car list up until launch, so if that does interest you, make sure to go ahead and subscribe. I will link one video down in the description below about the hypercars. I'm going to go ahead and do each class of every car as soon as we know more about each class of car. But yeah, that's just going to be there if you're interested. And that pretty much rounds it up for everything you need to know about Need for Speed Payback. Now, obviously, I didn't want to make this video too long, so I did have to cut it a bit short, and I probably did miss a few things. But like I said, if you are interested in Need for Speed Payback and you want to see more, make sure to go ahead and subscribe because we're going to have it all here. Not only Need for Speed Payback, but I'm going to be covering the Crew, Gran Turismo Sport, as well as a lot of other games. So if you are a racing game guy and you like racing games and you want to see more racing games, this is the place to be. Anyway, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to go ahead and hit the like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys have an awesome, stay safe, and peace.